All right, so let's talk about the kiss. You know the kiss, that moment at the end of a first date where you're standing there thinking, should I go for it? Or will I ruin everything? Kissing isn't just about attraction. For some people, it's a way to gauge chemistry. For others, it's something that they save for a deeper emotional connection. Some people are ready to pucker up if the vibe feels right. Nothing wrong with either way. The key is figuring out what works for you and for the other person, obviously, who's there with you. So today we're breaking it down. How do you decide when to kiss someone after meeting them? Hope you'll stick around if that's interesting, because that's what's on the agenda. Let's cut to the chase. There's no rule book for whether you should kiss somebody on a first date. It all depends on the flow of your evening or your comfort level and the cues that your date is giving off. Here's a big one. If there's been lingering touches, a hand on your arm, a light brush against your shoulder, or even an accidental touch when laughing, those moments are a good indicator that a kiss might be on the table. On the flip side, if the date felt like a look, don't touch situation, a kiss might feel out of place, totally. Got to think about the vibe overall. Was the conversation full of ease and laughter? Did you lock eyes with them just a little bit longer than was necessary and they returned that gaze? Did the chemistry feel warm and inviting, or was it more like a polite chat? A first kiss isn't something you force, that's for sure. It's something that flows from the connection that you've built throughout the evening. And if a physical and emotional energy is there, a kiss might be the perfect way to wrap up the date. If not, no worries. Sometimes the right moment comes later. The takeaway here is that physical connection throughout the evening is a major clue. If you're both comfortable and the vibe feels right, go for it. If not, holding off is just as valid. The best kisses happen when they're mutual and well-timed. That's not always easy. Let's be real. Not everyone sees a first date kiss as some grand romantic gesture. For a lot of people, it's just another way to see if there's something there. A kiss doesn't have to be monumental. It's about that moment when the butterflies show up, or if they don't. Think of it as a chemistry test. Pass, you're leaning in for more. Fail, well, if it feels like you just kissed your Aunt Ida at Thanksgiving, you've got your answer. For some people, that first kiss is a make or break moment. If it's electric, you're on. If it's flat, you might give it one more try, but let's be honest, a kiss should spark something beyond meh. That said, not everybody approaches a first date kiss the same way. So some people are all in to see if there's a spark, while others prefer to wait until they feel more of a deep connection to this person. So it's not about right or wrong. It's about understanding where you stand and finding what works for you and feels natural. And then again, not everyone wants to kiss on a first date. And guess what? That's totally fine too. For some people, a kiss is something special, reserved for when they feel a deeper emotional connection. Some people prefer to take things slowly simply because that's their style. Think of it like this. Everyone operates in their own time zone. Just because you're ready for a good night kiss at Eastern Standard Time doesn't mean they've left Pacific Time yet. If you lean in and they're not quite there, it's not about rejection, it's about rhythm. And how you recover is really what matters. Do you have the patience to wait and let things unfold at their own pace? Or does their timetable feel like it's not a match for your vibe? Both answers are totally valid, but it's important to check in with yourself. If you're someone who thrives on momentum and quick connections, a slow and steady partner might not really align with your style. So taking your time doesn't mean the connection isn't real, but mismatched pacing can be a sign of different approaches to intimacy in general and for short communication. So it's worth reflecting on whether this is something you can navigate or just a clue that your dating styles might not quite align. Exactly. The end of a date can feel like standing at the edge of a diving board. Do you go for the kiss or play it safe? And really, the answer lies in reading the moment. Not the whole date, but those final little cues that you're getting as you're parting ways. Is your date lingering, standing really close to you, or looking up at you with a smile that you could maybe read to say, oh, this has been fun. What's next? Are they leaning slightly in your direction, maintaining eye contact, leaving a pause in between their words like they're leaving space for you to make a move? because these are little signs that they might be open to a kiss. Now, if their body language is closed off, their arms are crossed, or they're taking a step backward, giving you a little casual smiles that aren't really open, that's just a sign to keep things friendly and maybe just a quick hug. Little pro tip for you here. At the end of the date, during a hug or while saying goodbye, lean in just slightly, enough to gauge their response. Now, if they lean in too, that's your cue. If they pull back or hesitate, just don't take it personally. A kiss isn't the only way to end the night on a high note. The truth is, a great kiss is about timing and connection, and mostly about being in sync. And if it's not the right moment, it doesn't mean that chemistry isn't there. It just means that the perfect kiss might need a little more time to find its way. A first kiss usually goes one of two ways. It either feels like an awkward dance where neither of you knows the steps, or it's so effortless that it feels like you've been kissing each other forever, like some cosmic rehearsal you didn't know you signed up for. If it's the awkward kind, don't panic. Some kisses take time. Kissing is a rhythm that two people develop together, and just because the first attempt didn't sweep you off your feet doesn't mean that the connection isn't worth exploring. The real question is whether the rest of the date left you curious enough to try again. And if the kiss felt magical, like it opened the door to something extraordinary, also don't let that one moment blind you to the bigger picture. Chemistry is important, yeah, but so are shared values and respect and all the other qualities that make somebody a good partner. So the lesson here is don't be dazzled by the cosmic and don't write off somebody because of clumsy. Some things take time. The rest of the date, the conversation, the vibe, the way they made you feel, those things are going to tell you whether this person warrants more of your time. So the date was amazing, and you were absolutely certain you were going to go for the kiss, but then you didn't. Maybe you froze because you couldn't figure out how to move in without bumping faces. Maybe the height difference threw you off, and you weren't sure whether to lean up or down or sideways, or maybe you just psyched yourself out entirely. Or here's another scenario. You're the one who made the unexpected move, turning for a hug, laughing mid-goodbye, or somehow managing to dodge their lean-in like you were doing choreography for a sitcom. For whatever reason, the kiss just didn't happen, and now you're replaying it in your head and wondering if you've doomed yourself to the friend zone forever. The truth is, one missed or awkward moment doesn't mean you've ruined anything at all. If the rest of the date was fantastic, this isn't a deal breaker, it's a chance to recover. The key is really to not overthink it and to address it with humor and confidence, if it ever comes up. Well, it probably will. You'll make it come up, I'm sure. Well, here, a text can go a long way here. Try something like, I had such a great time last night. I realized afterward that I totally chickened out on going for a good night kiss. Guess we'll have to fix that next time. You can do that. It's lighthearted, it's honest, and it shows that you're interested. Some people appreciate a little charm over perfection. A missed or awkward kiss isn't the end of the story. It's just a moment in time. And who knows, someday it might be the story you tell your grandkids. You almost didn't exist because I completely botched my first kiss with Grandma. But lucky for me, she gave me a second chance. When it's the right person, there's always room for another opportunity. Here's the thing about kissing on a first date. There's no rule book, no universal guide, and honestly, no guarantees. Sometimes it's magical, sometimes it's awkward, and sometimes it has you laughing all the way home wondering, what the heck just happened? But that's the beauty of dating. It's messy and it's funny, full of surprises. Whether you kiss, miss, or completely overthink it, what matters most is the connection that you're building. The best moments aren't always flawless. They're the ones that leave you smiling, thinking, I can't wait to see them again. I picked out this episode next. It's about some flirting tips I thought you might find helpful. And hey, before you go, don't forget to give Mom her thumbs up she's kindly requesting. She's asking for it like it's a Yelp review for my life. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button too. Like you're sealing the deal on a great first date. Confident, bold, just a little flirty. I appreciate you being here today, and until next time, have a good one.